Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Movies with Malice. Are you guys excited?
So excited.
I have guests for you this week. I have Saint Sasha.
Hi.
I have Miss Press.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about some lesbian lust movies. Unfortunately, one of them is not on VHS. Don't judge me, but it's a classic. So first, we've got Bound for You, one of my favorites that they chose. And then we're going to double feature that with my favorite, Chained Heat #2. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Bound first. Yes. Let's just get right into this movie. I hope y'all have seen this movie. If you haven't, you better see it.
Immediately, if not sooner. Gina Gershon, Showgirls.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first obviously was damn, because I kind of love the bitchy girls. I'm like, God, the bitchy ones are always so hot.
They're the hottest.
So in Showgirls, I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's bitchy. She's in control. She knows what's up. She does end up getting hurt, which I was really actually kind of sad about. I was like, no, I want you to win.
Right.
But seeing her in Bound, which I just watched very recently, was so incredible. It was a completely different side of her, but still just as hot, and if not just more hot, powerful. But of all things that you could make hot, she made a plumber hot.
A plumber.
That's
and
sexy.
She's covered in dirt.
Plumbing, whatever. I can just imagine how she smells, and it's hot.
Wearing overalls.
Oh yeah. And she has this little haircut. They're actually very similar haircuts in this film. These little short black wispy haircuts.
One's a little more femme though.
But she's not only just a plumber, she's an ex-con plumber. She just got out of prison.
She's trying to be a good girl.
She's trying to be a
trying
good
to
girl,
do a
but
real
she can't
job.
help it.
She can't help it.
She can't help it.
Can you blame her because she runs into Jennifer Tilly with Jennifer's breathy voice, and she's like, I can't do her voice. Can you do it?
I can.
Some shit like that.
It's close to that. It's like she just, hey, do you want to do my dishes?
I have a real bad leak under my sink.
And so, but she,
I'm a little wet.
Yeah, so wet.
It's dripping all under my sink. Maybe you should check it out.
Yeah, so she has Jennifer Tilly is with this guy who's mafioso, and he's working with dude, there's so many dope actors in this movie. I can't even start to list, but if you look, I mean, this is another Wachowski brothers movie, so it's got they always put the best actors in their movies, so all these mafioso guys are in it, and you're gonna be mind blown when you see all the ones that are in here. But so her husband in the movie, I don't know if they're married or boyfriend or girlfriend.
They're
just a couple,
business couple.
But he does some drug dealer or whatever that goes wrong, and then he comes home with all this blood money, and they have to wash it.
When he comes home too, he's just damn, it went wrong. Just kind of like how anyone would come home from a bad day at work.
Yeah.
He comes home covered in blood. How much are we allowed to give away?
We can talk about the whole thing because I feel like these are vintage movies, and it's not
I'm not spoiler alert.
Not
film
spoiler alert. I always tell people if you're gonna watch my show, we're gonna talk about the whole movie. So I'm assuming a lot of people have seen these movies, and they just wanna know what we think about these movies. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So go on.
I just love when he's in the scene after he just kills this man that he thinks did him dirty, but it ended up being somebody else did it. I feel bad. I don't want to. But he's holding his dead corpse body, and he's like, "Who's the dead man now?"
Yeah.
And it's so morbid, but it's so over the top that I got goosebumps. I was like, "That's so good."
The acting is really good in this movie.
It is,
and I love just the shots of the bloody money hanging where they're drying it in the house, just tons of money.
String after string after string. Their entire apartment's just full
covered
of this
in
money that's getting washed.
But Jennifer Tilly is I want this money.
When she describes, they go back. She's telling the story of what happened after he came home. To Gina. I don't know what their actual names are in the film.
I never remember. I can only remember one name at a time.
Jennifer. Okay, we'll just say that. So she's telling Gina when they're having their little private time. And also they fuck, and it's really hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. So they're like she's telling her about what happened, so it keeps, as she's telling the story, it flashes back to like scenes of it actually going down. And so he's puts all this money that's covered in blood in the wash. He hangs it up on all the strings, but it's like their entire flat that's big, it's with tall ceilings, like it's just strings of money being washed, and it's just, then he's sitting there ironing it all night, and he's just like, nothing's like, it's just, he's done it a million times before. That's how he's acting, but he has to get it really nice looking, like nothing bad went down for like his like the drug lord or whatever who's gonna come in and like get the money. So he boxes it all up, he puts these little he like wraps it all up, it's all like perfectly sorted.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
And he was folding the money, you said?
Oh, he was like ironing each $100 bill, and there was like I don't know, $2 million or something like that. Yeah. So like he went all night, like, and so it was just beautiful.
They're putting it through the money counter.
Oh,
and there's
behind the scenes,
that money counter
like
sound that we all love.
Like that Cash App or Venmo, ching.
Yes.
That gets us
It's
so excited.
like that's like the new version of that sound that like just gets you like,
yes.
Okay, daddy.
Okay, daddy.
Okay, daddy.
Love you. Yeah, and they like, what I love about this movie is like, so I have a lot of movies that have like lesbian stuff going on and whatever, but my favorite movies that have lesbian stuff in it is when they have a lot of sexual tension ahead of the actual act.
Yeah.
And that's
so
my favorite
good.
thing, because it's like Gina keeps coming over to the house, and it's not like they're trying to fuck, but it's like that honestly, like, I hate to describe it this way, but it's like that kind of copying dope feeling where it's just like you're premeditating this, like they know they're gonna fuck, you know, but it's like, you know, they're just kind of flirting and leading each other on, and it's like this game they're playing, and the tension is so good, like you can feel like, you know, they want to fuck each other, and it's so hot.
That sounds familiar.
It's like the dressing room at work. Yeah, in the actual sex scene when it does go down, it's like they don't skip a beat. It's like every single second of it. It's like everyone's gonna go watch this movie right now, but it's like slow in the way they're talking about everything, and then like, you know, like
It just sort of
her
happens.
fingers are going in, and like they talk about, like, it's like they're there, and it's like it's
I
not
don't
like they're not like skipping around like they do with a lot of, sometimes they do with a lot of like hetero scenes where it's just like
Yeah, it shows it like moment to moment.
yeah, and it's just like they're like talking about it, and like it's just like, do you want it? I bet you want it, and all this stuff. I'm paraphrasing right now.
We'll reenact the scene for you guys.
Yeah, could you please? Actually, we're cool with that. Do you guys know, the first time I saw this movie is when it came out. I was actually like detoxing from drugs at through
That's
like,
sexy.
well, I had left the streets and like was reunited with my mom, and she rented this not knowing, and so I was watching this with her. I felt
fun friends,
girl
wow, they look like tough girls there. And then I was like, they're doing like the lesbian scene. I was like, oh boy. And then my mom, like, she was like, you don't do stuff like that, do you?
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh, you read my journal?
Oh, Charlotte.
Anyway, she totally
My mom
did.
read my journal one time.
She knows. Anyway, hella gay. I was like, I just said to her, I was like, why would I write something that I didn't do in my journal? Of course I did it.
You're like,
Of
Mom,
course I
I just
did
like
it.
wrote this stuff to like kind of throw you off, and like
It's for my future book. It's fiction.
I'm writing a fictional journal.
it's like
Fiction.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it was like in the 90s when this came out. And then of course I've watched it a million times since then, and I like to show it to any of the girls that I invite over.
Let's watch
you're
it
like
tonight.
you're like, I'm not trying to give you any ideas, but just watch.
Just
Do you
thought you might
remember
like
one
this.
of the first times I was sleeping over, and you're like, you were talking about like ideas of movies to watch, and you're like, no, it's gonna make us want to fuck or something like that. Do you remember that?
I think so.
I love it. I was like,
Yeah.
put it in there.
I didn't want it to be too creepy, so you know.
I
can you
wanted to
imagine us
watch it,
sitting there
especially
just, like-
after that.
But then you became my daughter, and that's the way it should be.
Well, you know, daughter.
Like daughter, friend, meshed up. Like
It's like one of those things where she's like kind of like my daughter, but I would still watch like what they do or whatever.
I'd be
you
down
know?
for that.
I mean, what's a mom to do?
I mean, I just want to make sure she's learning right.
Okay.
Oh my
You're
god!
Like, okay, Press, can you just,
Mom, you're
here.
embarrassing me in
Do you
front of
like-
my friend.
Do you like being surrounded in just by pink? You're just being pinked right now.
Oh my god!
Look at this.
You know how much I love pink.
It's a similar pink too. Oh, yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. Some milk, mommy.
We'll cut that out.
Whoa! Oh God, I don't know what's happening. You guys, let me put these here.
What's happening?
Do you guys need a pillow?
I wasn't ready.
I need a pillow. Okay, back to the movie, guys. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
Breast milk.
Bad.
Breast milk and clogged pipes. Do you need a plumber?
I can be your plumber.
You're my plumber any day. We need to stop. Okay.
We need to stop. Anyways, this is a professional show, and we're trying to tell you about this movie. You guys should watch, and you see why, because the ladies love it, and yeah, and it's got
like to get under that hood.
I can't remember how this movie ends, though. I just remember all the sex and money.
It's perfect. It's like Thelma and Louise, except for they don't die. They run it. They end up getting the money.
Should we tell everybody this? I don't know. I don't know.
It ends like how everyone wants it to end.
Good.
In the most sexiest way.
I like that.
I love that for them.
If you like a lot of blood.
Bloody. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think I tried to have you see it once, but I know you didn't have the attention span. Okay, so Chained Heat 2 with Brigitte Nielsen. You guys, this is like the most.
Picture, right? Is it Brigitte?
Brigitte Nielsen.
I was saying Bridget. Fuck me.
Brigitte or Bridget?
Brigitte
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's Bridget.
Brigitte.
I'm gonna go with what you say.
Hasn't it always been Brigitte? Anyway, who cares? She's hot and we love her. And okay, you guys, I wish I had this on VHS. I know I don't. I also wish I had the original Chained Heat.
Whoever has it can send it to Malice.
Please send me. I will give you my freaking address and you can murder me.
I mean, don't do that. But
we'll figure out a way. No, I've got a place for you to send stuff. Okay. Anyway, I mean, they don't know whose address it is.
Right?
But now you know that I'm whatever.
Anyways.
So first Chained Heat has another one of my favorite actresses, and I have a poster of her in my bathroom, and she's also in one of my other favorite I wish I could grab it right now. It's right over there.
Reformed Schoolgirl.
Reformed Schoolgirl. So you guys all know Reformed Schoolgirls has Wendy O. Williams in it, but it also has. No, hang on. I want to grab the case of that. Just because we're talking about
you to watch it
women
tonight.
in prison. It's okay that I move real quick.
It's so good.
Okay, because it also has Sybil Danning, who's on the cover. And Sybil Danning's also in she's gonna get, when I talk about her, she's gonna get like her whole, like a whole day, because I have a bunch of movies that she's in that I love. I have more women in prison movies than I should have.
I want both of them to do bad things to me.
I know. I mean, I got to meet her in real life once, and she's so nice. Like,
that's even hotter.
Yeah, that makes her way more sexy.
Yeah,
perfectly honest.
like so sweet. So
as much as I like bitches,
right? I like
bitches that like nice ass people who are just like genuinely, like not trying to be nice, like genuinely in their heart nice, but can be a big bitch if they need to.
Right.
Just confident about it.
I love that. And that's how Brigitte is in this movie. So she's like, it's like she's a warden in a prison. They have this American girl that got set up to put in this prison because this prison is like super shady, and they like just arrest people that are tourists so they can use them for their sex slavery scheme. So there's all sorts of like great elements going on there. There's like drug trafficking going on in here. There's sex trafficking going on in here, and then there's lesbian shit going on in here. All these things I love.
My God.
Just kidding. I don't know. But
all I want for Christmas.
Right? But like in there's scenes with of course there's plenty of shower scenes with the girls in the showers in the prison.
That was like our first time together.
Wait, you guys were in the shower in prison?
I sent you the pictures. I sent her the pictures.
Wait, good, do it.
Remember the pictures?
So like the first time we ever like even like considered
like
touching each other
around,
like naked.
Okay.
Because
But you weren't in prison, just kidding.
Well, we were in slime prison.
Yeah, we were covered in
shooting
slime.
with all this slime at my house, and it was like it would not, like we were in the shower for like an hour and a half, and it just kept the slime that we were using just kept creating more
So
slime.
we were like, let's just have fun with it. And then
Like,
we
it would
some
not,
slime.
yeah, we
I
then
like
we
this
kept making
story.
slime even after all the slime was gone. It was just like a slime part. We had to honestly just get out of the shower when the water got cold and we were still a little bit slimy.
Yep.
Well, and then, you know.
Not quite like the showers and that, but...
No.
I think it
probably
probably-
not a prison shower.
I think it-
probably as small as a prison shower.
Probably was just as good or better, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I wish I
Watch
was there.
sometime.
Sounds like a good time.
Well, you saw some pictures apparently.
I do. Why don't I remember
well,
these
we'll show
pictures?
you after.
I
And
have to
if
look
you-
at
y'all
these
wanna
pictures
see.
again. That's the thing is I'm seeing
Now that you have context.
That's what it is. I'm missing the context. I'll probably see them and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember these. Anyways, there's so many hot pictures of you guys out there that it's hard to keep track of all the hot pictures. So that's what I'm saying. I do have some saved in my spank bank. Don't worry.
Oh my god, I love that for you.
Mommy spank me.
I have a spank bank. You know, I'm alone a lot, guys. Okay. So it's a choice, but yeah, so this is another one with like the super like aggressive sexual tension. Like these wardens like hate Americans, they hate junkies, and they have those thick Russian accents where they're just like, you fucking junkie scum. You know, they're just like, and they like one of the wardens is more of the bad guy, and Brigitte Nelson, she's like a bad guy too, but she's also a junkie. She says she hates junkies, but they're fucking doing dope.
She like knows when to be gentle.
Right, and she does know when to be gentle. Oh yeah. And so they're like Brigitte is really trying to get with the American. She's like, I hate Americans, but then she's like, I want this American. And she like they have this sex trafficking thing where they take all their inmates to, like, they dress them all up in fancy dresses and they take them to this party where all the girls are given numbers, and these rich men play roulette to win a girl. It actually looks cool. It's like this bougie kind of setup, and they're like, everyone looks like really like 007 fancy, you know? And like,
I mean, if I was gonna be trafficked, that sounds like kind of one of the. I mean, if it's gonna happen, that sounds like
I'd like it to be a little upscale.
Yeah.
Have some class about it.
I don't know. Maybe we should get rid of this part.
right. Delete.
But maybe not.
But you know, it is they do try to make trafficking look nice.
Glamorous.
They glamorize it and they make the guys look like, you know, not, I mean, they're still creepy or whatever, but they're like bougie creepy, and you know, and they're like trying to win the girls, and like Brigitte like steps in and she like gets the number of the American, and then she takes her in the room,
And
they
she's
do-
like, I'd like to get under that hood.
oh, that's yeah,
like
she
to
has
get
this cropped hair, and like
yes.
her little, she always has like just the tightest uniform
She's so like
on.
hot and stoic.
Yeah, and
Like
she's
as
what
if
she's what like
she really got
6'3".
it, as if she really got it altered to fit her body like that. But like, of course, in the film.
Of course. So, anyways, the American just pretends like she's gonna fuck her, but then I think they kind of do. But then the American escapes, and like, you know, whatever, they have all.
I
this.
would not want to escape that.
I know. I'd be like,
I'll tell you that right
I
now.
mean, here's the thing. Like, maybe, yeah, as much as that would suck, I'd be like, hey, maybe this is my way out. And then I'd be like, call her up later and be like, yeah, that was good. But now I'm out of
Are you ready
prison,
for
so
round
maybe we
two?
can like meet in real life. or
yeah.
something.
I mean, their scene is so hot, and it's like it goes back and forth. Like the American is remembering the other warden, like kind of like sexually assaulting her, and like so that trauma is coming back to her while she's doing that, but she's using that trauma to like do Brigitte Nelson the same way that warden does her, because she's not normally like dominatrixy, but she's trying to use that. But like they go back and forth into these scenes, but they're still kind of lesbian-ish hot, because for me, you know, like I dated a dom before it, like female dom, and I really liked, like that's kind of how our relationship was. It was like really back and forth, like, you know, bossy, bitchy. We were never gentle with each other. There was nothing loving in our relationship.
If you like sexual trauma, this movie's for you.
If you
Feel
are
empowered.
So, I mean, my girl, she was really into S&M. I'm not so much into S&M, but I like the, you know, the bondage, the tying up, and the little light spanking, and some
Yeah,
other...
we're real
Talking
vanilla.
about that. We're like, are we posers if we like the aesthetic and like to kind of like double sometimes, but like we're not actually. It's not like our thing at all. Like,
I mean, I don't think anyone can call anyone a poser when it comes to sex. Like, you, like, if your fetish is you know, like a uniform, that's the same thing. You're not a real cop. You know, like
Right.
you just have a uniform fetish. If your
fair.
fetish is wearing a fucking choker, but you're not really into like getting choked or getting in, fine.
Right,
Like
anything.
we all have to make our, like, my fetish is more visual as well, but like definitely me and her were really rough with each other, and I like that relationship. But I don't trust everyone to treat me like she did. You know, like not a lot of people could get away with the shit she did to me. So
Sounds like she was probably a good dom with people because the fact that you could trust her. Because
Yeah.
I've known some people that like are in that line of like sex work and also just relationships, and they like take it way too far because they're just like trying to like, express whatever trauma they went through.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're actually just like finding an excuse to just be abusive.
exactly,
And that's
That's
Yeah,
so
that's
true.
not right.
It is true, and I felt like that's why I was comfortable with her. Is she always made sure, like, we didn't even really need a safe word. She was really good at understanding my body language and like
good.
understanding like what
That's
we
how
were
it
doing
should be.
in a situation. And she knew my whole thing was more about. I mean, my whole thing in real life, if I do relationships, is like I want my partner to receive whatever they find the most pleasurable, and I want to help them achieve that. And so me and her did that. Like if she was more into, like, she was a little sadist, she was into like a little beating of other people, so I allowed her. She knew she could only go a certain degree with me, though. I wasn't into the full on, like, I let her do one date with me where she like really tied me up and did like, you know, the what do you call them, like clothing pins.
Oh, like nipple clamps?
No, they're clothing pins. Clothespins. You know,
Yeah,
you probably have never even seen a clothespin because they probably
No, I
don't
was
use
trying
them.
to say I
hang
have
up
nipple
clothes
clamps,
with, like
but-
actual clothespins.
Actual clothespins. They're like made of wood, and people hold it. Those money. They held the money up in that movie with those.
Yeah.
It all came full circle.
It all came full
guys.
circle. But
Like it does.
yeah, but I mean, nobody uses those anymore. We use drying machines now. But
Some people do.
I mean, some people, yeah.
Yeah, if I like hang my clothes, I normally just hang it over a chair or something.
I mean, honestly, in Portland, people do still do that.
My grandma did. She was in Portland, and she had like, I mean, in the summer, I don't know. What do you mean in Portland? I mean, because the people have yards.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah.
people have yards.
No, there's not yards
Well,
here.
because people have yards and they're about not using too much energy and all
That's
that
true.
other stuff.
That's
Like,
true. There's a lot of hippies in
I have
Portland.
a lot of friends
have
that
their-
don't use washing and drying
Mm-hmm.
machines, and they do everything by hand. You know, like my sister, she lives in a self-sustaining household. Like everything is kind of done very like old school. Like I felt like I think I joked with her before that, like I was like, when I wash my clothes here, do I have to use a washboard or what?
That's why I'm saying you see everyone out in the yard using the same water.
Yeah,
Washboard.
yeah. When you go to
Same
the
water
bathroom,
that they took a bath in?
The whole family. They're like, Jimmy has to go last.
sure plenty
He
of
went
people do.
first. He went first last time. he pulled the shortest straw.
Portland hillbillies. Yeah, keeping it weird, y'all. No, like at my sister's, if you use the bathroom, use the toilet, you have to take the water from the bucket under the sink where you wash your hands to flush the toilet. You have to bucket flush.
Oh,
It's
wait.
It's
Can I just piss behind a bush?
Did I? I think you just took a piss in there. I heard a flush. I heard a flush. You were.
You either don't flush or you use the backwater, fucking
Okay.
gray water.
I'm like really curious about this. I want to go visit her and see how it all works.
And
I
everything,
love Christy, but I ain't doing that shit.
everything is composted.
you just have to go pee before we go visit and see.
Yeah.
Like you got to compost everything. No plastic is allowed in that house.
I kind of like that.
Could you imagine?
that mean
though?
I
It's
can't
really,
come in?
it's really cool. Like I'm like, so like none of my makeup can come in there.
Oh, wait, are you serious?
Well,
Well,
like
yeah.
the packages, all
Yeah,
the.
everything's
oh, fuck,
plastic.
can't go there.
No, like I mean, I'm sure there's some plastics now. Like I don't know how she used to be really strict about it. I don't know if she still is, but I definitely like when my niece had birthdays. I mean, my niece is like 16 now, but I remember when she was young. You know how we always want to buy them like the toys that we wanted when we were little.
Kid is plastic.
Everything was plastic.
Yeah.
No, like everything she had growing up was made of wood or fabric.
I love, like, the idea of that, but it's so not realistic for me, but also I'm just
know.
lazy.
There are more
Same.
like realistic ways to do it, where like yes, it is plastic, but I didn't buy it brand new.
Yeah.
And like all these things. I mean, I wouldn't do that with makeup. I didn't. Yeah, like there's a ways to like minimize it
Yeah.
without absolutely.
True. Yeah. So anyway, sorry we went off on a tangent, guys. But
tangent.
but it was a good tangent. Now you guys know more about Portland, and honestly, like
That's not how old Portland.
Come visit us, guys.
Actually, a lot of people are. Actually, never come. It's all like that.
yeah, it is because people already have too many people in Portland, so they don't really want you know.
No, every single household is that. Like literally, they won't let you get on the plane to come to Portland if you have plastic.
You have to have a self-sustaining property if you live there. Yeah. No, I mean, that's why I'm taking one for the team, and I moved out for everyone to make room for more
took your
Californians
place there.
to move up there. Yeah, but anywho, so I just want everyone to know that these two movies are a great double feature. I mean, if you don't have Chained Heat 2, watch the original Chained Heat, or like there's Chained Heat 3, 4, probably 5, 6, who knows? They probably went up to 10. I don't know how many they have. But these movies are like two of my favorite movies ever, and I highly recommend them. What else do I want to say about these?
Wait, so is Chained Heat 2 better than Chained Heat 1?
It's not better. It's just the only one I have.
Oh, okay, that's
But
fair.
okay,
Interesting.
I think they're both good, but I will say I think I personally like the dominatrixy vibe of this one a lot. Like I think there's a little more. So like the way that she's dominatrixy in this movie, the Brigitte, is more like I feel like her Sybil Danning is in the first Chained Heat, but her character is a lot more like her character in Reform School Girls. Like Reform School Girls, she's barely in this movie, honestly, which upsets me. She should be in this movie more. But yeah, Sybil Danning. This is the exact poster I have in my bathroom, and it says this. It says oh, it doesn't have this quote on it.
Like they get dirt or like they take showers
they take
together.
Lots of showers.
Oh yeah, long
showers. And I'm just like, yeah, that's. I mean, I remember seeing this movie when I was like super young, and like just any women in prison movie, like I was always just like, oh, when they open the doors to the like reform school in here, that's what I always said I think heaven should look like. It was basically like a bunch of women in 80s lingerie.
Oh my god, they were just wearing lingerie.
In this reform school. So it's not prison. This was reform school, but it's like all these girls have like big hair and lingerie on, and I'm just like, okay, I love this movie.
Have you watched Orange is the New Black? I've only watched like a couple episodes. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like the new version of like women in prison. It's a little bit like more like realistic.
Actually, I was like kind of about to naysay it when it first came out. I was like, I don't know, it's like probably cheesy or whatever, and like, you know, like I've actually been to prison, so I was like, it's probably not even like that. I think
that's so hot about you.
I know. Damn.
And but let me tell you, prison isn't as hot as they show it in the movies.
Do you have any fun there though?
There was one girl that I had a real crush on, and
everyone thought she was a witch. Sorry,
they did. Ahead. They thought I was a witch, so which was good for me because I was in Austin, Texas. Okay. So like it started off in Travis County, but then when you're moved to state jail, like right back then, I don't know what it is now, but back then a bunch of private prisons were shut down, so everything was like mixed up. So they probably sent us to a prison that we weren't even supposed to go to. The one I went to was in a city called Gatesville. And it was basically like a big shed out in the middle of the desert with no fucking air conditioning, and we were all dying.
Hell.
4 girls died in 2 months of the summer.
Heat exhaustion?
Heat exhaustion. Like, it was so hot. Like
that's like fucked up. That's the kind of stuff that you get like lawsuits for.
Yeah, it should have been, I think.
This one didn't die because she's like a lizard.
I was loving it. I was actually in heaven. I was like,
that would be me too. Did you get to
get
kind of naked? Or do you have to wear your prison outfit?
I mean, we were wearing like some little t-shirts and some whatever.
I would love to take like little pictures from this time. I know like I don't want to glamorize it, but like I can see you out there. And
I mean, I made the best of it. Right. I had fun. Like, and I had some little girlfriends that I flirted with. There was like me and this other little kind of rocker chick in there, and me and her like were definitely girls that knew that we like got down with other girls in the outside. But a lot of girls, when they get locked up, they start going gay just because they're locked up. And
that's like Orange is the New Black.
And it's fine, because, I mean, get yours or whatever. Like, I know you're bored, but at the same time, we are kind of side-eye to it. We're like, if you're really into it, like, I'll see you when we get out.
I love that.
Yeah, and I actually did see her when I got out, but I think she was turned off because I was already using again, which is fine. But, you know, she stayed with me one night, and then just, like, she looked sad for me. And I get it. But I was like, this is who I am in real life. Like, back then, you know? But me and her also had a crush on this black girl, and her name was Alicia, and Alicia had these tattoos of like dog paws going up to her pussy. And she had like one gold tooth with a $sign in it. And she was so hot, and she knew that we crushed on her, and we were always
she
like,
probably like was like soaking it up.
Okay, so we had group showers, right? And you could shower whenever you wanted, and she would just like grab her towel and she'd be like, I'm gonna go take a shower, and we'd be like, okay, I gotta do laundry. And so what we would do is we take, because they didn't do your laundry very much in prison. You have to kind of wash your panties yourself if you wanted them clean
like
every day in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
So we do it in the sink.
It's like stripping.
So like
if you like bring
So we had these sinks, and then it was a big mirror, and then you could see the shower in the background, and she would do shower shows for us while we're doing our laundry.
That's so
Like,
sexy.
you're making it sound so glamorous. Honestly, like this
didn't happen except for the couple months that this was in county. This was before we even went to prison, and like just in county, she was like that. And the thing is, like, she would never like hook up with either of us. She had the scariest butch girlfriend in the world.
That was also in prison, or
but yeah, but they were in separate units. But still, we all would meet at rec, you know. And if you like touched that girl would probably get you killed. Like, she was like, I don't even know. Like, there's not dudes that could beat her ass. This girl was she went by the name Butchie. And she
I
had,
love that for her.
She had like cornrows and just stood there like this and was like, so.
Like twitching. Twitching.
Like, that's kind of hot though. Also,
she was hot too.
This is all very
and she had the one pant leg rolled up, like all gangster. I was like, she's so thug. That's so hot. But like, you guys are cute. Bye. You know. So we didn't fuck around, but. You know, like, I definitely always, even before I was ever locked up, I had a fetish for women in prison. There's like a hotness to it. But like, when I first got in there, I was like, wow, I'm like one of the few chicks with teeth in the front here. Like, it was not.
Well, that could like actually be beneficial for you.
That's a good one. That's true.
I mean, true, but there wasn't as much hotness as I had hoped, you know, from the movies I had seen growing up. You know, I grew up watching USA Up All Night, and all these movies were on there. Like, I mean, not this one yet, but like these movies and stuff. And I was like, ooh, maybe I'll have fun in there. And then I got in there and I was like,
you're like, this ain't nothing like
I
reform
honestly
schoolgirls.
love like your whole like thing. It's just like thinking the most positive that you can. Like, maybe I'll have fun in there. Maybe
She's got great prison stories. What's that one meal? They would cook food in the windows because it was so hot.
I mean, that's that's what, like, you just put your spreads out there, you know, they call them spreads, and you take your, because you order food off commissary, you get your ramen with some cheese stuff and some, like, Cheetos and everything else, and you just
crunch
fucking make a little, like, casserole, and you put that shit in the window, and the sun cooks it.
That's how I cook already.
Are you a window chef?
Yeah.
Like the new Netflix series, Window Chefs.
Yeah. Dude, I actually
It's just Malice showing you how to make food in prison.
I think someone did do a prison food like show, TV show.
Tutorial.
No, it's like a show. I think someone made a show out of it.
That's
but anyway, what was I gonna say before I wrap it up? Well, I didn't finish saying what I felt about Orange is the New Black. I will say that when I did finally watch Orange is the New Black, I actually do give them credit because they really like developed everyone's characters so well, and I really do like that show. Like, I only watched the first or second season though. I did kind of drop off after a while, but I don't pay for Netflix or any of those other channels anymore because bitch ain't got time for all that TV watching. I need to like watch my VHS tapes, you know. So I ain't got time for.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot. You guys haven't even seen my whole room. I am gonna do a video tour for you guys all soon because a lot of people have been asking for that. We're gonna get that. I'm gonna clean my room because you know it's not really. Yeah, we have to do some reorganizing for you, and before I go, I want to say where can everybody find you guys? Where can they find you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Saint Sasha with 2 A's at the end. I'm shadow banned, so you have to type in the full username, but it's Saint Sasha.
The whole word Saint, not
Saint.
ST.
Just spell it.
Yeah, spell it out.
Okay, SAINT. I'm like having to think about this. SAINT SASHAA.
But then she's an amazing makeup artist.
Oh,
and she's doing really well. And
yeah. I have a makeup artist Instagram as well. It's just Face by Saint Sasha.
With one A at the end.
With one A at the end.
And
no one's going to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer and we work together a lot. And my Instagram is Miss_PRYS, Miss Priss.
And you guys are only here for this week, right? With me, but I'm sure you guys will be back in LA in a while, or eventually, whenever you're doing more photo shoots and stuff like that. So follow them to see when they're going to be in town next, if you want to shoot with them, or if you're in Portland or somewhere out there, or you're going to Portland, you want to do
or
a
anywhere,
shoot.
just like we will travel to you, pay us.
Yeah,
We'd love to. Yeah,
Let's do it. Get your money. Yes, and so awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing my show. You guys are so cool.
It was so cool. I love it.
I hope you guys come back again sometime, and we could do next time. We'll talk about pornos.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Bye.